Hey, what's up? We are coming to you from what appears to be a rotating love seat, which has absolutely nothing to do with id Software's Rage, but you, sir, Matt Hooper of id Software, you have everything to do with Rage, is that right?
That is right.
You're the design director, is that correct?
Design director.
So
Work with
you're
a
right
lot
there
of-
at the top.
Yeah, a lot of talented designers that I work with, and really we're just trying to put all the cool little details into the game right now.
You've got Xbox 360 here today. You've been showing just PC up to now. So the first thing that leapt out at me was that you guys are doing a solid 60 frames a second on the Xbox. Did you guys have to make any kind of concessions to the visual quality to make that happen? How did you prioritize that?
There's always a give and take, and we mentioned before, it's id Tech 5. This is the first time we used this engine. It is multi-platform. It was a focus for us right from the start. And it starts and ends pretty much with John Carmack. That's what he's wanted to do forever. And the 60 hertz is super important to what we want. It's an action shooter. We want the player to have that ultimate control and feel, no wild swings in frame rate. And we wanted 60 hertz. That's the games that we like to play. It's the kind of game we're making. And right from the start, we put that as a goal, and we've managed to keep to it.
Well, obviously, id Software lives deeply in a lot of PC gamers' hearts. Are you guys still amping up the visual quality to insane levels on the PC? And is it going to be costly, for a PC gamer to, have to upgrade to reach like the highest performance level on the PC, or is it going to kind of be, are you going to have parity with the consoles?
There'll be some little visual enhancements like anti-aliasing and different things like that that'll make the PC maybe look a little better here and there. But pretty much all the gamers will get the same experience, and that's one of the things we wanted too. We're making Rage. We're not making Rage for the PC, then Rage for the PS3, and we haven't had to sacrifice a whole lot, and that's the way the technology was orchestrated. We think it looks great on all the platforms.
You guys have got your kind of big, sprawling, post-apocalyptic world. But it's not a nuclear holocaust, it's an asteroid impact. I'm curious, first of all, just because we've seen, different aspects of the world with all this kind of working technology and people have rebuilt settlements and stuff. What's the time frame between the initial asteroid impact and then your guy kind of emerging from underground?
It's not that important to know the exact time frame, but decades have gone by, and things have evolved faster than they normally would have because of the mutations caused by the asteroid that struck the Earth. And really what it amounts to is this really rich fiction that allows us as designers to do whatever the hell we want. So we're just putting as much cool stuff as possible. And the new IP, new fiction, new technology, that's what allows us to do.
So it's sort of the split between like the story path and then like kind of side stuff over here.
Because we're still a ways from release, it's hard to give exact numbers. But the number might be infinity. I'm not sure, because the player can, if you go, you saw in the demo, we went to the dam facility. And we rooted out this group of bandits they're working on vehicles. You needed some parts for your vehicle. You go in there, you tear them out. What happens to that environment after? Well, we repopulate it. Maybe the mutants taken over. Maybe the bandits come back and build anew. These missions can go on forever. Every time you go back in there, we have gameplay set up. And if you just want to go and hunt for different items or to make a little cash, you can do that.
Okay.
So that's not even a specific mission given to you by some part of the story. It's just an opportunity for the player. At the same time, we have that action movie that you're living through, then all these little side things, and we just look at them as opportunities. We know the player's going to see it. We know he'll be compelled to do some amount of them. But the people that really want to just keep living that story, they can do that.
Okay. There's kind of the classic id set of weaponry. You got a machine gun, a shotgun. I'm assuming there's going to be a rocket launcher at some point. Just in terms of the core kind of held weapons, are you kind of going beyond that framework? Are there going to be a lot of kind of bizarre new, plasma launchers or anything weird like that? Or is the new variety kind of coming through the engineering stuff?
We didn't want to put 1 million weapons in the game. It's not what it's about. We just want a shorter list of really cool ones. We do have some special items that you get, and part of the fiction allows us to do some of that, but there won't be a really long list of those. It's all about the engineering items. And then the different ammo types. But again, even in ammo types, we're not forcing in 4 ammo types for each weapon. We're really just finding opportunities, and we showed that today with the Electrobolt. You have a crossbow, you can use that as a stealth weapon. That makes a difference. We haven't had that in the id shooter before. Then you're going down into the well. It's wet. We know electricity, water, we know the player will get it. So that's how we kind of expanded the weapons and the player choices.
The engineering items are kind of little side things that you can make, little sentry bots and stuff like that. Is there sort of a hierarchy of like schematic and then parts and then finished weapon, or are you going to have to find the plans for these objects before you can make them, or do you just kind of happen on the parts and sort of figure out how to make
Most
them?
of the anything we really want the player to make sure they get, it pretty much happens in the story progression, and that would make sense. You get it as a reward. Maybe the sheriff gives you something for going to take out the Shrouded clan, and they make the little RC bomb cars, but he gives you the plans, and then you have it forever. And maybe there's an upgrade to those plans. But you can, there may be plans that you can buy, there may be plans that you just find. And we think the really great thing is that once you get the plans, it's all about the parts. There's usually one, maybe two specific parts for the more advanced engineering items, but there's a lot of generic parts like gears and springs and a battery that you can pick and choose which of the engineering items you want to build with those.
You guys always obviously have been big proponents of the when it's done development philosophy. Now that you're part of a bigger corporate family, you've got Bethesda sort of above id now. Is there any more kind of extra urgency to get the game done on a tighter schedule, or do you guys still just kind of have carte blanche to just keep going and going until you're sure that you've got it?
Yeah, I mean, ZeniMax they want great games. That's what id's always wanted. So it's pretty much the same. We're just moving ahead. Now we just have all these resources to draw from. So it's all about making Rage the game it needs to be, and there's no particular time frame or there's no push for that.
Okay. That said, this year?
Well, actually, for the first time, we are saying next year.
Okay.
And not a specific time frame in next year, but,
okay.
So
2011 then.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It's almost a date.
I guess I can live with that. All right, Matt. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Thanks.